Hey, I'm Ayuma Michelle, and welcome to Let's with Ayuma. This is an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women just like you and I from all around the world to thrive with purpose. Okay? So, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much. You ladies have really been coming through, right? So, on my last video, I noticed that the number of subscribers has really increased. So thank you so much. Right now, I think we're at 177. Please help me round off that. Let's get into the 80s. Please help me reach at least 200 people. And if you've enjoyed my content so far, thank you so much. And please subscribe. I know that most of you who watch this channel actually haven't subscribed. If you've enjoyed the content so far, just subscribe so that you can be notified the next time another video comes through. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please watch this video and watch another one. And if you dig it, subscribe, okay? So thank you so much for your support. Today, I'll be talking about, right, why now more than ever you should start sharing your business backstory. Why now more than ever, right? So, I'll get straight into it. First and foremost, I don't think many people have really come to terms with the fact that this global pandemic that is COVID-19 has literally disrupted everything. Everything, right? And that means all of us are operating from ground zero. We are starting to do things from scratch. We are doing things from a new position because none of us has ever gone through COVID-19 pandemic enough to come back and tell us, okay, as an expert or with wisdom that, hey, this is the right thing to do. All the way from Oprah to the grocer, to the person selling, food or groceries or fruits, in your local market. All of us are navigating this for the very first time, and all of us are learning how to go through this thing for the very first time. So in some way, it's sort of like leveled out the playing field. If I must be very honest, it's like leveled out the playing field. And it means that whatever used to work is no longer the same case. Whatever used to work, we need to leave it in the back burner and start doing things from afresh, start doing things in a new way. And so we realize that also technology has amplified, if for the people who haven't really, positioned themselves in the digital marketplace, it's really holding back many people. So for that very fact, it means we need to do things differently. And what does doing things differently? I'll get to that in a minute. What does doing things differently look like? What does navigating through this uncertainty or this new disrupted low-touch economy look like? And also, how can you leverage technology to help you amplify your message and reach more people? Yes, because you can actually reach more people even during this pandemic. Number 2, globalization. Globalization has actually brought down all of those boundaries that we had, especially let's say in our countries and in our marketplaces. And through technology, it has empowered us to start competing globally. So I have a simple question for you. Are you competing globally? Has your business been set up in a place where you can actually operate and compete on the global marketplace? This is not only just for your business, but also for your career. I've been telling so many creatives in my country, Kenya, that we need to stop thinking just about looking for jobs within our borders. We need to start thinking globally. Our skills, especially as Kenyans, I keep hearing from many HR managers, top-level HR managers in Kenya, saying that the reason why Kenyans are so marketable in many other African countries is, for one reason, is just because of our English language. We speak such great quality English, and that already sets us apart from the entire African marketplace. So imagine, as a Kenyan, I need to be thinking Africa-wide instead of just Kenya. So are we holding ourselves back from competing on a wider marketplace and holding ourselves back from actually earning, profiting, and having a greater impact than just what we are used to here locally, okay? So we are no longer thinking locally, but whatever we have available locally is worthy globally. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that suddenly you start destroying everything that you've built and you're like, no, local isn't enough. Local is worthy. And especially as Africans or people who come from global minority groups, have you noticed that the world is hungry for alternatives? The world is hungry for alternative stories, alternative solutions. They're no longer looking for solutions which are like the old type, maybe from the Western world, what works for them. The world is hungry for alternatives. And that's why, as a local creative, start thinking, positioning yourself globally, start positioning your ideas globally, start positioning your business globally so that you can target a wider audience. The world is hungry for you and what you have to offer. Also, lastly, with regards to communication, my friends, communication, I know I mentioned it in my last video, but you have to realize that communication is different from storytelling. And this is why, now that I've talked about the disruption due to COVID, the disruption of the global economy, how we are all starting from ground zero, but also because of globalization. Realize that communication is different from storytelling. And this is why communication is all about encoding and decoding information, meaning I start something, I share something, you process it, you share back with me as feedback, I process it, and I can choose to go back to you with more feedback or not, right? What does that sound like? That's the traditional communication. That's basically what it means. It's the science of encoding and decoding information, right? A machine can do that. And what we've been seeing over the past few years is that machines have literally been replacing some businesses and some careers. And we do not want to be there. And we also do not want to start hating on machinery because it's part of advancement, it's part of progressiveness, right? So how can you stand out with an offering of your business and your talent in a way that a machine can't replace? This is by positioning yourself with storytelling as opposed to communication, right? So communications, machines can do that, but storytelling, only humans can do that. Only humans can do storytelling, right? Because storytelling, this is the beautiful thing about storytelling. It is human powered, it is human inspired, and it is powered by emotion. Emotion. So anytime you're thinking about telling a story, think about communicating or connecting through emotion. Because guess what? You haven't told a story if you haven't emotionally connected with people. That's the thing. So in today's world, the brands that are really succeeding, and especially small businesses, right, that are really succeeding, the people who are truly building a lot of influence are those who are actually connecting with people through emotion. And that's where storytelling comes through, because stories are basically emotions packaged in values. You're basically transferring values to people who share the same thing, right? And you are transferring those values, yes, through story, but you're also connecting with them through emotion. And that's why you can literally watch a TV program and when somebody is literally crying, you start crying with them at the exact same time. That's because it's the power of storytelling, which is human inspired, which is powered by emotion. So please hold on to that as I share the following things. So I shared with you, then why is it important that now more than ever, you start sharing the backstory of your business? So this is the thing. Many of us who are in business, we've always been told to just share your achievements and the things you're really great at and the things that make you powerful and stand out, that do not show vulnerability. That's how the old school business training has taught us to do, right? But listen, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. If everyone is out there talking about how perfect they are and how amazing they are and how they have X number of people and all that, people do not connect with that. And that's the power of storytelling. People connect through vulnerability. Just imagine this, if somebody keeps telling you how perfect they are and how amazing they are and how awesome they are, you will be happy for them, but you will not really connect with them at a human level. Because remember, the part of our brain that is decision making, the part of our brain that processes stories, the part of our brain that processes emotion is the exact same brain, right? It processes emotion, it makes decisions, and it processes I've said what? It processes emotion, it helps us make decisions, but it also processes stories, right? So realize it's the exact same brain. So that means you need to be communicating emotionally. And because we make emotional decisions. Yes, we make emotional decisions. And so you want to also communicate with people at that exact level. And yes, when people are making decisions now, especially during the pandemic, they are connecting with the people who connect with them the most, who relate with them the most, and we relate through vulnerability. This is an example. I have a friend, and I shared in the last video, I have a friend who sells cakes, right? And there's one thing she told me, which till today, 5 years later, still make me remain as a client to her business. And it's because she said, hey, these cakes that I make, it's actually helping me raise school fees for my son. You know, that is the backstory of her business. That is the real backstory of her business. She started this business to raise school fees for her son. Now, how many businesses or how many bakeries are out there sharing that story? Not so many. And yes, not everyone will be touched by, I need to help you raise school fees for your son. Not everyone will be touched by it. But guess what? That's the importance of niche. You do not exist to serve everyone. You do not exist to serve every single person in the world who has a sugar craving or who loves cupcakes. But there are those who will be loyal to you and return to you, to serve, to work with you, and to buy from you because they believe in your story. And this is something that small businesses have such a great advantage over big corporates. Because corporate is not a person, but a small business is literally depends on the personality of the founder. So please realize this is your opportunity. So if, like my friend, she said that the backstory of her business is, hey, you're helping me raise school fees for my son. That touched me emotionally because I now feel like that like that auntie, self-nominated auntie, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to help him out. I need to raise school fees for her son. You know, I need to buy those cupcakes because that boy needs school fees. You get what I mean? And you want your customers to feel like family. You want your customers to feel like they're on this journey together with you. So whatever it is that you're doing, for example, if you're selling products, what really is the reason why you're running that business? Is it because you're producing these body butters, these natural body butters, because your child grew up with eczema? Your child is struggling with eczema, right? Share it, and even share the progress of your son doing well, his skin being amazing, or daughter, her skin being amazing, looking amazing, and her feeling happy and free and liberated because she doesn't have to worry about the itchiness and feeling discomfort. Share with us her journey, because people will be like, oh wow, look at her, I'm adding to that, I am supporting to that, you know. Another story I'll share with you is a story that I still carry with me till today. I encountered this lady 5 years ago. Was it five? No, not 5 years ago. Was it 5 years ago? No, more than 5 years ago. That was 2015. So that's just slightly more than 5 years ago. Her name is Naomi, and I met her at the Masai Mara, which is a game reserve here in Kenya. And we were there for school, and we were doing a design thinking exercise. So obviously it meant that we needed to go into the community, find out what the problems are, listen, not give them solutions, but listen to truly what their problems are, and then figure out how we can co-create solutions with them. So I sat down with these women, and because obviously I'm really drawn towards women, I'm drawn towards jewelry. Those of you who don't know, my name Ayuma means beaded or the beautifier. So of course I was drawn to some of this jewelry, and I used to be a jewelry designer. I was drawn to these women who were sat under an acacia tree, for shade at high noon, and they were waiting for an opportunity for tourists to pass by so that they can sell their jewelry. And this jewelry, the traditional Maasai jewelry, these women call them shangas. So they were there and they thought I was a customer, but I sat down with them. They invited me to sit down with them so that I can listen to their stories and just know what they're going through. And they ended up pouring into me, ended up asking them, like, what are some of the challenges you're facing? And so this lady started opening up, and they told me how in their community, their women are not allowed to own money. They are not allowed to own cows. And in the Maasai community, a cow equals to wealth. A cow equals to your bank account. A cow equals to school fees. Basically, cows equals money. Cows equals, because they are a pastoralist community, right? So unfortunately, Naomi was a widow and she only had her son. So her son is allowed to have wealth or own money or own cows, but she isn't allowed because she's a woman. So she shared how poverty was really something that was hitting her home. How because she was widowed, her son doesn't have school fees, so he was out somewhere grazing some cows and goats, and she felt like literally the shangas she had in her hands, those are her cows, meaning her shangas are money. Her shangas are financial freedom. And so I thought for a moment, what if Naomi's shangas were actual cows? I started thinking of it from a positive perspective. And I was like, you know what? I need to work on something that can actually support Naomi. And it is not bad. It's not a negative thing for Naomi's shangas to be her cows. And so imagine if I was a jewelry person, if I was selling jewelry, if I was in a market, and instead of seeing Naomi as that Maasai lady sitting under a tree selling shangas to God knows how many tourists, imagine if I came and told you that Naomi's shangas are her cow, that this jewelry represents financial freedom for women in this community. Tell me which story you would buy. Of course you would buy this financial freedom story, because you're like, I need her to thrive. If this is literally the only way she can make money, or rather within this cultural context, I will support her, because the future of her and her son depends on these shangas, right? So that is something I want you to think about. And obviously I can't share other people's stories without sharing mine. So with my story, the backstory of Let's is actually, it is my freedom. The backstory of Let's is that I started Let's to create my own dreams, to create my own freedom, to create my own path, and to own it as a woman. And it's the very same thing with my clients. Most of my clients that I do attract are women who actually want to carve their own path. They want to carve their own path to freedom. They want to speak up through their stories and through their voices. These are women who want to own their success. They want to own their legacies. They want to own their stories, and therefore they are creating a path for themselves. So not so many people know this, but yeah, there's a years ago, literally, I had to say no. The men in my family sat down and they decided which career they wanted me to do, and I said no. And even though it wasn't clear what my dreams were, I said no to them so that I can say yes to my dreams. And I gave myself permission to pursue it, and it was not easy, but if I had to say no to that so that I can figure out what are my dreams, what is my path, what is my career, then I will go forth and do it. So that is why now 5 years down the line, I have served 400 women from across the globe to do the exact same thing, to use their stories as tickets to their dreams, tickets to their opportunities, tickets to their new legacies. And that's actually the backstory of Let's. So when you think of Let's now, think of the L as legacy. That is literally me carving my own path as a woman. Me choosing what I want to do with my own life and with my own career. Not anyone else choosing that for me. Okay? So I hope you feel inspired by that. And the reason why I say more than ever this is important, it's because you want, even from a global perspective, people to locate you. And people to locate your opportunity and your solution. Because business is all about solutions. It's not just about selling things, selling products and services. It's about offering solutions to the world. And as long as that problem exists and the need for that solution exists, then your business should stay you should stay alive. And so this is the importance of telling the backstory of your business, not just the random story about your impact model, about what you sell and what you and what you sell and how much it is and stuff. No. This is the time to tell the backstory, because the backstory locates you. The backstory locates you as a human being. The backstory locates your emotion. The backstory locates your actual need, which then expands your opportunity to connect with people just like you from all around the world, right? So imagine, what does your business represent? What backstory? Why did you really start your business? Did you start your business because you're a single mom and you urgently needed to provide? Did you start your business because you're a widow and you urgently needed to provide for your kids and create a positive nuance around, a positive story around widows owning their own story and carving their own paths, no? You know, thriving and not surviving, right? Did you start your business because you were struggling with a certain mental health issue and you figured out a way out, right? Did you start your business because, like now me, cultural barriers to women, to yourself as a woman, and now this is your ticket out of such a cultural barrier? This is you breaking the glass ceiling, right? So whatever that backstory is, please amplify it, tell it, showcase it, and let that be the thing that draws more people who believe in you and who are equally looking for such solutions. Let them find it in you, and not just locally, not just continentally, but from all around the world, because the world is hungry for alternative stories. And if you're at a point where you're wondering, oh my gosh, this is a gem, this is something that has just come through right now and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it, there is a masterclass series, the Build My Passion Masterclass series, that I did with a group of friends who are amazing experts in their fields. And we actually discussed these issues. One of the masterclasses actually dealt with how to scale your passion using technology. And we discussed so many of these things. So please go to my link in bio and purchase it. You can purchase it through M-Pesa. The masterclass series has 5 videos, which include creating your passion story, overcoming your limiting beliefs, being faithful with your finances because you do not need much to start, building your passion, how to rethink yourself and your career and your business, right? And also how to scale your passion using technology. Those are the 5 topics that the masterclass series covers, and it goes for $29, or if you're in Kenya, 2,900 Kenya shillings, and you can purchase it through M-Pesa, which the details will be below, or you can purchase it through PayPal or by card, and they are all secure. They are all secure options. I wouldn't offer you online shopping options if it's insecure. It's all secure, I promise you. Okay? So please check the description box below to find the link to the masterclass series. You can download it even today and access it immediately and start watching those videos, because we give you a clear path and clear strategies and tools on how you can start positioning this passion of yours and your business for these current times, you know, for a global impact, but also for global profit, and also to enable more people to know about what you're doing. Okay? So, yeah, the link is below. So please comment below and let me know, you know, what is your backstory? What is the why of your business? You know, some of us keep saying this in the business world, but not so many people are aware of it. That your backstory is your why. Why are you really running this business? And be vulnerable. This is not a time to try to look brave and strong to other people. No, this is the time to be vulnerable, because everyone is in the thick of a global pandemic, okay? So don't shy away from being vulnerable and really share, hey guys, this is the actual reason why I run my business. It's for my son's school fees. You know what? This is my financial legacy as a woman. This is my financial independence as a woman. Or hey, this is me creating a legacy out of a cultural barriers to me as a woman. Whatever that may be, please start sharing that story, and please comment below, what is the why of your business? What is the real backstory of your business? And start amplifying it, okay? And realize the world is hungry for alternative stories. No one is looking for perfection. Perfection is the enemy of creativity, is the enemy of connection, is the enemy of imagination. Right now we are looking for vulnerabilities, for people who will trust us with their humanity, for people who will trust us with the real backstories of their businesses. Okay, so please comment below, let me know what's the real backstory of your business, and also like this video and subscribe if you've enjoyed this content. Okay, let's round off and reach to the 80s. We want to go into the 80s. Help me reach 200 and share this video with a woman whom you know will benefit and who really needs to hear this message. Okay, wonderful. So that's all for today. This is Let's with Ayuma, an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women just like you and I from all around the world to thrive with purpose. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.